1,463 days is how long it has been since the last Malaysian Grand Prix was held, all the way back in 2017. And we return for round 5 of this Formula 1 Fantasy World Championship. Round 5, I say, folks, at this amazing venue of the Sepang International Circuit. This venue soaked in rain because, yes, the rain is arrived. It's falling here at Malaysia, one of the most multicultural countries in Southeast Asia, and a country which is also home to 5 UNESCO heritage sites located at Kinabalu Park, Guanyang Mulu Park, Lenggong Valley, and the cities of the Straits of Malacca. This is an amazing track, the Sepang International Circuit. Here it is, just over 5 kilometers in length, with 2 very long straights, an average fuel consumption of 1.79 kilograms per lap, and an elevation of 22 meters separating turns 1 and 15. Here is Hamilton retiring in 2016. No, 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 he screamed as he retired. There's Alonso clipping Hamilton back in turns 5 and 6 in 2011, clipping that front wing, and it just did not work out for good old Fernando. Here in 2001, it was Mika Hakkinen and Jos Verstappen dueling it out around turn 15 at this Austacia circuit, and Fredson did the dummy, did the pair of them in the Jordan. And what an exhilarating race that was, folks. Here are the tyres. We've got softest being the red compound here, of course, the faster compound, class 3 compound. C2 being the medium, that of course being the yellow striped tyre, and then of course the hardest, C1, that being the white tyre. Here is the starting grid, folks, for the Malaysian Grand Prix. Max Verstappen is on pole at 128.469. He joins Charles Leclerc up at the front row. Lewis Hamilton in P3, Sergio Perez in 4th. In 5th place, we have Lando Norris alongside his former teammate Carlos Sainz, this time in the Ferrari. We've got Sebastian Vettel in the Aston Martin, of course, alongside Valtteri Bottas. Alongside him there as well, Daniel Ricciardo P9, Pierre Gasly in 10th spot, the Frenchman joining him, Fernando Alonso in 11th alongside George Russell for Williams. In P13, it's Kimi Raikkonen joining Antonio Giovinazzi's teammate on the same row, folks. In behind as well, Lance Stroll, P15, Yuki Tsunoda in 16th for AlphaTauri, P17th is Esteban Ocon for the Alpine team alongside Nicholas Latifi in P18, with Mick Schumacher joining his teammate Nikita Mazepin. They're routed for Haas at the back of the grid. And the rain comes down, but it's pedal to the metal. Go, 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 go. And Max Verstappen leads them out in front as well, with Charles Leclerc in behind them as well, with Perez in behind those two, with Lewis Hamilton now inside line. Oh no! My blimey, a 3-car collision. Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen. They are all out of the race. We've got a red flag here immediately. Let's have a look at the replay. Extraordinary stuff. And oh blimey, actually you could argue that Perez caught Hamilton slightly just on the rear. There was a late break.
I'm stuck. This is what you get with this fucking shit show, honestly.
Absolutely despondent, Max Verstappen, but here's the getaway for Lewis Hamilton. That wheel spin off the start-finish line, but he recovered it well and managed to get in the slipstream of Sergio Perez. And we're just going to see now that little flick of the rear. Oh, blimey, the brakes definitely. It could have been a brake failure, but either way, he totally lost the corner. Oh, he did clip Perez. He did clip Perez. Here we are for the getaway, folks. All 4 lights, 5 lights now. And it's pedal to the metal for the second time in this Grand Prix, and this time Carlos Sainz with a huge getaway lands himself up into P1. Daniel Ricciardo in behind as well, with Sergio Perez alongside him heading into turn 1. In behind as well, we've got Sebastian Vettel trying to fight his way through as well for Aston Martin, as well as Lando Norris, who's going wheel to wheel with him here. In behind Valtteri Bottas, but Ricciardo leads. Ricciardo leads out of turn 2 with Sainz in P2. Sebastian Vettel in P3. Oh, Perez is round. Perez is rounded in the gravel trap. He drops to the root of the field with Tsunoda, Mazepin and Latifi passing him as well. And we have a battle as well in between that and Haas and Mick Schumacher and Esteban Ocon. German Mick Schumacher in his rookie season makes his way round the outside now. Mick Schumacher down the outside there of Esteban Ocon. Brilliant move there by the German driver, and moves his way just in by Giovinazzi. Here's a view from Sergio Perez's TV cam as we're now watching, certainly from the cockpit cam. Oh, wow, yeah, certainly by the looks of that, just lost the car altogether. And there's Valtteri Bottas in behind as well. And he's trying to challenge, certainly on the outside, but there you can see a front view of Perez spinning, and Bottas had no choice but to let off. Here in lap 7 now of 56, and there you can see certainly the Valtteri Bottas has certainly made a meal of that one, managed to get himself past Fernando Alonso. Oh no! Oh, another spin there, and the safety car is out. The safety car is out, and is that Mazepin making an overtake under the safety car? Here is a replay, and Fernando Alonso, 5-second time penalty applied to the Spaniard. And here is Nikita Mazepin. And he is under investigation for the yellow flag incident, overtaking under yellow flag. So the stewards are having a look at it. Now we're in lap 10 instantly. Now we got Kimi Raikkonen and Lando Norris dueling it out. Down into turn 1 now. Lando Norris looking to try and garner a representative position here on Kimi Raikkonen as they head down into turn 2 now. And Lando Norris still holding on, but Kimi Raikkonen is no Muppet. He makes his way down the inside, and the Iceman is holding on valiantly there in P4. Now Mick Schumacher having a look down the inside of George Russell, heading into the next left as they make their way around now through towards the start finish straight out of turn 15. And Mick Schumacher looking to prosaically rise yet again. Oh, brilliant from Mick Schumacher. That turn of foot in the Haas is so brilliant in this wet weather, finding some great traction. And now as we see it, coming round towards the final bend now at turn 15, and there is what looks to be George Russell. Oh, Gasly right in the rear of George Russell, and Russell sent careering into the barrier, and Mazepin as well. Mazepin into the barrier, very nearly taking out Yuki Tsunoda as well, who immediately goes through. Here's the replay. Pierre Gasly right on the rear diffuser. Oh dear, just basically pushed him around at turn 15. And that sent George Russell into a spin and straight into the wall, and close in line as well was Antonio Giovinazzi and Nikita Mazepin. And Antonio Giovinazzi with a 5-second penalty. And the battle for the lead rages on. Daniel Ricciardo in behind Carlos Sainz as well. And Ricciardo now has got to put his best defensive helmet on down into turn 1 as they make their way down towards the Pancall-out chicane. And in behind now, Carlos Sainz with a deep dive down the inside for the Scuderia Ferrari team as they now go wheel to wheel around turn 2 and looking to try and get a nice exit heading round towards turn 3. And Carlos Sainz, brilliant for the Spaniard, gets his way up into P1. Now Lando Norris close in behind Fernando Alonso. Team radio losing power. Lando Norris is losing power, and they got confirmation the ERS does not seem to be working, and that's going to allow Fernando Alonso to maybe take a deep dive around the outside as they make their way out of turn 2, and as they do so into turn 3, Alonso moves up into P5. And now Lando Norris again, this time pressuring or being pressurised by Mick Schumacher immediately down the inside of turn 15. We've seen this happen so many times, and Mick Schumacher has made his way past Lando Norris. Explicable, absolutely incredible indeed from Mick Schumacher. Started P19, now P6. And now Gasly having a piece of the pie as well. He's right in behind Lando Norris, going for the inside line. Oh, it's too easy. And Lando was pushed out there, losing the rear end slightly. He's really struggling here at Sepang. Looking at it, the power really causing some problems. But Lando Norris now around the inside again. Gasly looking to try and hold on. Oh, it's so close. Oh, dearie me. Got so tight between the pair, very nearly taking each other out. But Norris holds on to that P7 spot here in lap 33. And still the Gasly-Norris battle continues around turn 15 yet again. Norris with the outside line, but Gasly, who has the better line down the inside, will certainly carry a lot more pace, and certainly does so. Goes ahead there of the McLaren, and certainly Lando Norris having to think twice, heading down into turn 1. They're still wheel to wheel though, and Norris still able to fight with what's left in behind that McLaren car, but Gasly too strong, gets himself up into P7. Incredible racing. And now Sebastian Vettel down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo, and as soon as they do so, can Green 5 hang on here? Sebastian Vettel now into turn 2 around the Pancall-out chicane, and Sebastian Vettel up in the P2. An amazing move on the Daniel Ricciardo, the Honey Badger, just could not hold him off. Now here we have it, Gasly, who is now trying to fight off certainly that Williams of Nicholas Latifi down the inside. Oh, Gasly, and obviously Latifi, the back marker, but Gasly off the track. And here's the onboard, heading around the next round of this progressive bend, and oh dear, brakes failed. And obviously the wet track, not handy on the brakes. You need to keep them warm, and Gasly unfortunately losing it there. As a result of Pierre Gasly's incident, the safety car is out. Here in lap 51, it means we will get confirmation of 3 laps of racing remaining. And it's pedal to the metal for the 3rd time in this Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz leads him away, but Sebastian Vettel with the inside maneuver into turn 1 for Aston Martin. Tries to hold on here, going for his first win since 2019 in Singapore. Green 5 is alive. He takes the lead of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Incredible by Sebastian Vettel. Carlos Sainz in 2nd place. Mick Schumacher down the outside here of Esteban Ocon as they make their way into the next round. There's still the Haas holding on to the outside line of the Alpine. Esteban Ocon not holding on, but Mick Schumacher. Now we have Kimi Raikkonen making his way down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. This is the 3rd place and the final podium spot contact as they meet each other around turn 1. The side pod of Daniel Ricciardo's car meeting the front wheel of Kimi Raikkonen, but the Iceman comes out on top heading around turn 3. Brilliant from Kimi. It's sensational stuff. Fernando Alonso also coming into the fight now. Down the inside there of Daniel Ricciardo. His last win was in Singapore back in 2019. 53 career wins. Sebastian Vettel, he will win the Malaysian Grand Prix and his first for Aston Martin.
Yes! Yes, guys! Oh! Fantastic job.
And Mick Schumacher takes driver of the day, ladies and gentlemen. But Sebastian Vettel takes victory here at Malaysia, here at the Sepang International Circuit. His very first win for Aston Martin and a fastest lap to boot as well, which earns him an extra point. Carlos Sainz in P2, Kimi Raikkonen in 3rd place, Daniel Ricciardo in 4th, Fernando Alonso P5, Mick Schumacher take a bow in P6, Lando Norris in P7, Esteban Ocon P8, Yuki Tsunoda P9, Antonio Giovinazzi takes 10th position for Alfa Romeo Racing, and the final point in that classification, Lance Stroll finishes in P11 with Nicholas Latifi last of the running cars all the way in P12. 2 Canadians level there, but look at the DNFs that we have. Pierre Gasly, George Russell, Nikita Mazepin, Valtteri Bottas, Sergio Perez, Charles Leclerc, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. What will that do to the championship standings? And there you can see that Max Verstappen currently leading the title race, 59 points, 2 points separate him and Carlos Sainz. What a rise Ferrari have had in recent weeks. Lewis Hamilton in P3, Charles Leclerc in 4th spot with Sergio Perez P5, Lando Norris in P6, Sebastian Vettel, those points that he earned today up into 7th place, Valtteri Bottas P8, Daniel Ricciardo in 9th spot with Fernando Alonso in P10. Next event on our calendar, folks, we are off to the Grand Prix Motiso de Aragon for the 2021 race. It's been a pleasure bringing you this video. Please subscribe to the Mitsos YouTube channel. Also leave a like. But thank you from me, George Morgan, for joining us here today for the Malaysian Grand Prix. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.